Ready to begin?
Yep, we are ready.
Okay, I'd like to say welcome. Our chair, Marjorie Olson, will not be here tonight. She's out of the country right now, so I will, Vernil Brumfield, the Northern Vice Chair, will chair this meeting. Okay, we want to, any guests, recognition of any guests? Okay, hearing none, we move on to the call order of business on our agenda. Land acknowledgement, you said you had a slide for that?
Yes, I do.
I'll go ahead and read the land acknowledgement, Madam Chair. Land
Thank you.
acknowledgement. We pause to acknowledge that the Solano County Democratic Central Committee of the Democratic Party sits on the land of the Miwok and Patwin people. We remember their continued connection to this region and give thanks to them for allowing us to live, work, learn, and pray in their traditional homeland. We offer our respect to their elders and the Miwok and Patwin people of the past and present.
Thank you. We'll follow the order of the agenda right now. Pledge of Allegiance. Are we ready to begin? I pledge
Allegiance.
flag
Flag
of the United
of the
States of
United States of
America
America,
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
which
for which it
it
stands,
stands, one nation,
nation, under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
Visible.
with
with
liberty
liberty and
and
justice
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 for all.
for all
Someday.
someday.
Okay, thank you. We have determined a quorum, Madam Secretary, correct?
Yes, we have.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the agenda. We're looking at the April 27th agenda. There are a couple of modifications under item number 3, candidates and introductions. I want to add Jeanette Wiley. And under new business number 4, legislation committee, I received a note that Bonnie Hamilton will be giving that report instead of Susan George. And under item number 6, announcements, Jeannie White has asked to be added under announcements. So if I can entertain an approval of the agenda, we have you, Jack, you're part of it. You're already good. I see your note in the chat. So can I entertain a move? Motion.
One more
Actually,
thing.
Jeanette has her hand up.
I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, there's
So
two.
we want to see the bylaws proposed changes
Oh, that's true.
from
Okay,
new business.
okay.
And we have you down as well on the agenda, so you're fine. When we get to that portion of the program agenda, you'll be able to speak as well.
Okay, all right, so now may I entertain a motion with the noted modifications to the agenda this evening?
So moved.
A second, please.
Second.
Tiffany,
It's been properly moved and second that we approve the agenda of April 27th with the noted modifications. Thank you. Moving on to the March 23rd
Who-
minutes.
We need to vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta close it. I'm sorry.
And
All
who
those
moved, who made the motion? Who made the
I did
motion?
Ian.
Okay, I
Ian.
couldn't
Ian.
hear Ian. And Tom seconded it?
Yep, and I'm gonna launch a poll.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I need to make sure you get that clear.
Ian, did you need to say something? Your hand is still up.
Oh, no, I couldn't see that my hand was up. We were lower.
Okay, thank you.
Minutes instead of agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do the agenda. Sorry. I'm trying to do multiple things. There we go.
Tom, you gonna close the poll?
Yep, has everyone voted? Okay, can I go ahead and end it?
Yes.
Yay. Passed.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to the approval of the minutes, March 23rd minutes. Have everyone had an opportunity to read the minutes? And I'd like to entertain a motion for approval of the minutes.
This is Paula. I move to approve the minutes.
I'll
Second.
second. This is Ian.
Okay, it's been moved and second in the poll, please.
Looks like everyone has voted. Oh, let's see, we have Joseph. So for the folks joining, it's the approval of the minutes, if you want to abstain. Okay, going to end the poll, Madam Chair.
Okay.
They were approved.
Right. Thank you. And I'm gonna go out of order here because I have a alternate to swear in, if you don't mind. I hear Dave McCullum, that he is in the room now. Is he here?
Yes, I am here. Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, Dave, and you're an alternate for whom?
Kelly Welch.
Okay, Kelly Welch. Okay, thank you. Okay, would you repeat after me the oath of office?
Mhm.
I, Dave McCullum,
I, Dave McCallum,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and of the state of California
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the state of California.
I'm sorry, would you repeat that, please? You were
Okay.
cutting out there. I
I'm
apologize.
sorry, okay. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the state of California.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the state of California.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I
Without
take this
any,
obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
and without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
And that I will well and faithfully implement the duties about which I'm about to enter.
And during such
A bit
time as
much.
I hold the office of an alternate. Okay. Thank you. Did you get the last part? Okay. And during such time as I hold the office of alternate.
during such time as I hold the office of alternate.
Yes.
I thank you very much, and I do want to apologize for my very slow and cutting in and out audio on my very rickety Wi-Fi.
So we got through it. Thank you and welcome.
If you
Okay, now,
stop, if you stop video, you might actually not cut out vocally.
it's it. Okay, now we're going into the candidates introduction. We have Ian Arnold, Jack Flynn, and Jeanette Wiley, who would like to be introduced as candidates of various offices. We'll start in the order that I named. Ian Arnold.
Well,
Madam
thank you
Chair,
very much. Most of you know me, Ian Arnold, Dixon resident, former city council candidate, announcing my candidacy for the November race for Dixon Unified School District School Board. I've been asked by the teachers and the classified employees to go ahead and make that run, so I'm doing it. They've got a lot of problems out there at the school district, not least of which is the fact that nobody quite knows if there's any long-term harm to the students who were homeschooled during COVID, and nobody's quite sure how to deal with any problems that come out because they're trying to still trying to treat all the kids as cookie cutter kids.
is that it? You have,
You have
That's
2
it.
minutes.
That's it. I'm trying to
Okay.
keep the meeting going. It's my race isn't until November, so that's an early announcement.
okay,
Well,
There you
thank
go.
you. Our next is Jack Flynn. You have 2 minutes also.
Thank you so much. And it's an honor to be with you tonight. My name is Jack Flynn, for those of you who don't know me. I got involved in politics when I was just 12 years old. In fact, I was too young to be a young Democrat because the minimum age is 14. And I'm so honored to be with you tonight. For so many years, you all have been such an amazing community to me. I really have felt like the Democratic Party is my home. And I mean that genuinely and sincerely. And I feel like I feel like I have a sense of duty because the Fairfield Student School Board is we're at such a critical time where we need to support our teachers, make sure that they have a livable compensation and a livable wage, make sure our class sizes are 15 to 20, not 30, 40, 50, and making sure every community member, every educational partner is valued and feels like they have a seat at the table. And I would ask for your support. I am the only Democrat running. We are a campaign running to flip this seat blue. And so I want to give a couple of informations about my campaign. First of all, I'm having a campaign kickoff event I'm super excited about. It's going to be Saturday, May 7th at 4 p.m. in the Sassoon City waterfront. And I'll post that information in the chat later. And I am so excited about that. And I would be honored to have each and every one of your support. We are early in my race. It's not till November, but I think with a good ground game, really supportive energy from the community, we can flip this seat blue. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I believe the beauty the beauty of their dreams lies with FSUSD students, teachers, and parents. This is a campaign to support those students, teachers, and parents and flip FSUSD Area 5 blue. And please consider supporting my campaign. I'll post my Act Blue, my website, and my kickoff information in the chat. And let's go. Let's win this.
and in 2 minutes you did that. Excellent job.
Okay, thank you. Jeanette Wiley, 2 minutes.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk to you for just a couple of minutes tonight. And I just wanted to say I am running for re-election for the Vacaville City Council. A couple of people had asked, so I thought, well, I just need to jump on here and make it known that I am indeed running. I did run in November of 2020. I got the short end of the stick, which was a 2-year term because of the districts, and 2, 4, and 6 were 2-year terms, while the other people were elected to 4-year terms. I ran then to be the voice for South Vacaville, and I think I have worked hard to be that voice in the last year and a half, and I will continue to do that. I've connected with a lot of residents, and just this past weekend, we had a spruce up our district, and we collected with the help of 40 volunteers and working with Recology, getting the message out, 22.4 tons of stuff out of District 6. So I thought it was a very successful event, and it's only through volunteers that made that happen. I do have opposition by a non-Democrat at this point, and like Jack, mine is a November election, so other people may get in the race before that time. But currently, I am the only woman and the only senior on the Vacaville City Council, and I feel like I have a valuable voice on that council. I've worked hard during the last year and a half to learn a lot, to be informed, and I will continue to do so. So I just wanted to say I am running, and I have enjoyed your support in the past, and I look forward to working with you in the future. I am working on social media, and I have my website from before that still has a donate button, but I have to update it with the new information. So if I haven't got a kickoff planned, but like Jack, I think I need to do that shortly. And I am hoping to win a 4-year term in 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on with the agenda, we're into new business. Tiffany Jones, fundraisers.
Yes, hopefully you guys can hear me. My internet's been like tapping in and out. Good evening, Democrats. Excited to bring you this fundraiser. We've had to get real creative during this whole process in COVID. And so due to the restrictions and things of that nature, and some of us Democrats feeling really leery about still gathering, in lieu of the crab feed, you guys agreed to go ahead with the day of donation. And you should have received a blurb or blast that went out regarding that fundraiser. And so we have several donation levels for those of you that want to participate and just throw money at the Democratic Party so that we can get these good candidates that we just heard about that are our own elected. And so we have donation levels for the Young Dems, $15, Rising Stars, $25, activists and grassroots, $35, the Mighty Democrats, which all of us actually are, $75, and then we have our local heroes donation level of $100. And again, we have higher end values. We have $1,000 if you want to. Congressional is $800, our senatorial $700, assemblies $500, supervisors $300, board city council member is $200 donation levels. All of the information is will be available on our website, but we also have a Act Blue link that I thought I was getting ready to drop in the chat, but give me just a second to do that. The donation timeframe, we're looking to raise a lot of this money between yesterday and May 7th. So please, please, please give this to all of your friends, any other Democrat that you know that doesn't show up to these meetings. We really, really want to fill this pot because we all know in November, we have a huge win that we have to get. We not only have to lift our candidates locally, but we got a lot of candidates at the state that are going to require a lot of our support. So this money will be going towards efforts to do grassroots outreach, voter registration, all of that. So again, the fundraiser is going to start. It started yesterday, but we're putting the link out there. Please, please, please donate, 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 share, share, share. And that's it for me for right now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Legislation Committee recommendations. Dr. Bonnie Hamilton, are you presenting that report?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Madam Chair. And hello, fellow Democrats. Nice to see you all here this evening. I'm sitting in for Chair of the Legislative Committee, Susan George. And we met on April 21st, and in order of Earth day, week, and month, we evaluated a number of bills. You all should have received them from Secretary Jeanette Wiley with a link to a Google Drive that has them. I can put the link in the chat if folks want to go there or don't have it handy, or if, I don't know if Tom wants to put it, but we'll see what happens. The committee overwhelmingly unanimously recommended an endorsement by the Central Committee of all the bills. And so we bring them forth to you tonight. And again, you've received them ahead of time. So we are recommending that the Central Committee endorse, send a letter to the authors, and do a press release about all that we have approved all these bills. So I will entertain any questions if anyone has them.
If you have questions, please raise your hand. If you're unable to raise your hand, you can always put your question in the chat so that we can acknowledge you.
Bonnie, I have a question. It says the committee recommendation, so this requires an action tonight? You're
Yes,
looking
it
for a
does.
vote tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're
Jeanette?
asking to vote to endorse all the bills that we discussed and evaluated. There was unanimous agreement to support.
Jeanette,
I'm going to make a motion to support
hold on,
the committee's.
excuse me. We have a hand up. It's Jeanette. I don't know if she had a
Say-
comment.
Yeah, I was at that meeting as well, and there was a robust discussion of all the bills, and there was, because the committee is putting it forward, need a vote in the affirmative to pass these bills. And that means then that our committee letter saying the option of writing individual letters to the authors of the. So I guess then we're ready for a vote. I don't know if Tom knew that that was going to be a poll or not.
Did not, but almost got it ready.
Okay.
While he's getting it ready, would you repeat the recommendation that we're voting on
Yes,
for the members?
the recommendation is to endorse the bills put forth by the legislative committee as they're presented to you, and that once endorsement is passed, then we will send letters to each of the authors in support, as well as do a press release.
There was the motion. Can I get a second now, please?
It came through the committee, so it shouldn't
Don't
need
need
a
a second. Don't need a second. You're right. Okay. All right. So we're waiting for the poll to vote.
And good job, Bonnie, and everybody that was on the committee. We had a really good discussion around it. So
It's such an important issue, and it's fitting for Earth Month.
okay, poll is up. Pat, did you have a question?
Yeah, I didn't get a couple of the emails that went out because I had to ask somebody to send me the Zoom link. So I don't know what bills these are at all.
They're listed. I put the link in the chat, Pat. If you want to go to that link, you'll see the bills. They were sent out with with everything Jeanette sent out.
Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, I didn't get it, but it may be something with my email, but I just, can you just generally go over them? I don't want to be abstain if I don't have to.
Well, everyone, I mean, again, I mean, I will leave that to the rest of the committee. I mean, I'm certainly happy, but again, I put the link in the chat if you want to go to if there's a list of the bills with all the explanations there, if you'd like. But if it's the will of the Central Committee to review them, we can, but everyone got them ahead of time.
Okay, okay, it sounds like you can't really summarize them, so I guess, okay.
Well, there's 11 bills, so
Okay,
it would
okay, all right.
probably take I mean, I could read them, the title to you.
That would be good, because I know of about 6 or 7 bills, or actually 10 bills, so I probably know what they are. I just would like to know which ones we're voting on.
So can you go to the link? Are you able?
I can't go to the link. I mean, it would take me a long time, but I don't know which one it was. I'm sorry, I don't mean to hold everything up.
Yeah, so because we're already taking the vote, so the
I
vote's
know,
been.
I know, yeah, it
so
would take too much time. Okay, well,
But I'd be happy to discuss them offline at any
Yeah.
point, Pat, if you'd like. And then I can I'll be happy to send you another link to the bills. if
right,
you'd
but I
like.
think we're voting on endorsing them, right? Is that what we're doing right now?
Accepting the recommendations, yes. Is the poll ready, Tom?
Poll is open.
It's
Is
open.
everybody
I haven't
I
seen
got
it.
We have 22
Okay.
people have voted.
Okay, yeah, it's in the middle of the vote, Pat, so,
Oh, okay, yeah,
the
it's
vote
not.
has taken place.
Okay,
right.
well, I think I can vote on these because I know most of them, so I don't have the poll anymore, so
You will, are you on a cell phone or what are you on?
I'm on the Zoom.
No, what device? Are you on a PC?
I'm on a PC, yeah.
Okay, so the window may be under your other window, so hit Alt Tab.
Well, you can just take a verbal vote. I endorse them, okay?
Yep. Okay,
Or in the chat, yeah. We're
Thank you.
recorded.
all right, we've been 3 minutes into this. I think we can
Yes,
end
so
the vote.
the poll resort, oh, you haven't closed the poll yet?
No.
Oh. Okay, passes. Okay. 91%, thank you. Okay, moving
Yeah.
on with, and thank you, Legislative Committee. Thank you very much for all the work that you've done. Okay, moving on, keeping up with the agenda. Awards banquet. Jeanette, did you want to speak on this?
Well, we had voted several years ago to do the awards banquet every other year. And so the last time we were going to do it was 20, and then we weren't able to go forward with what we were doing. Or was it 21? I guess 21. We elected people, voted on people, went through the whole process, and then we were not able to have the event in the fall like we thought we would. So we are at the position where we would like to honor those people and have an awards luncheon sometime in the fall. But this has to take, a lot of planning, and a lot of the venues are, you have to put money down now. And Vernil had looked into one last time we discussed it, and then we weren't able to have it. So Margie asked that we discuss it tonight and see who would be willing to be on a committee, and then we would need to also authorize some money to put a deposit down. So that's what I'm asking for, is to see who would be willing to have be on the committee for awards and plan that, or are we comfortable planning an event at this time? So up for discussion.
My first concern would be inflation, because, these venues went up 10 and 20% in their costs. So we need to be aware of that tickets may be more expensive in certain venues like we've been going to. I just put that out there. Any other comments? I see a hand, Tiffany.
I'm just concerned about, obviously it's gonna be safety protocols, what this all would entail. As you stated, Madam Chair, the price of inflation, I just tried to look you for a wedding, and it's literally gone up almost 20% in certain locations that are comparable to what we like to do. And I'm also concerned about maybe just the heavy lifting that it's going to require. It can't just be 2 people. It would actually take a team of people to be able to do and pull off such an event. We tried to do something very similar, virtually, And so I would not like, I know we're tired of Zoom and all of that, but there's always an option to be able to honor our friends in such a way. So.
Other comments? I went to an event today in Mare Island at the brewery, and there were a lot of people there, and it was very nice. We were outside. It was $40 a person, so it does cost a lot in order to do things like that. So, or if we don't do that, is there another way that we could honor people short of that, or other comments or suggestions? Margie just was concerned that if we don't make a decision, then we won't be able to get a venue. But I guess we need to decide who's going to be doing all the planning and getting venues. So,
Do we have any volunteers? Let's start like that. Any volunteers to work on the awards banquet? Along with Jeanette.
I'll volunteer.
Okay, we have Bridget. I know I by default of my position, I know I'm on the committee. So any other members willing to volunteer to look into these venues?
I'm happy to volunteer, but I think we need a suggested budget with a floor and a ceiling.
Well, I would say a committee and then come back with the budget with the committee. I understand what you're saying, Ian, but we got to get people to do it.
Do that.
So right now we have 3 people on the committee? 4? Do you want to have an awards banquet?
Oh, I'm going to raise my hand.
You're recognized, Bonnie. You're recognized.
Thank you. I just wanted to say it would be nice to, if we could look at outside venues. I'm not sure when we're planning on having it. The only issue, though, to consider is it's wildfire season in the fall. So sometimes we are literally smoked out of doing that, but that would be super nice if we could look into that. And I mean, I can help look into some of that, but that would be or to do it virtually, or for the awardees, do a donation in their honor to something meaningful. That would be another a nice way to put that money instead of spending it on, these expensive venues that have happened since the pandemic.
So can we get an exploratory committee together? 3 people and bring back something next month?
that sounds like what we've got right now, because I don't think we're ready to make a motion and go with something, because there's kind of a lack of interest here. So, okay.
Yeah. And any other questions or on that particular topic? Any questions or comments?
Madam Chair.
Oh, I saw someone said they would work with the committee in the chat. I didn't, it went away too fast. Oh, Jeannie White. Okay, thank you, Jeannie. Okay, you had a comment, Tiffany, I heard you.
No, I don't know what the delay, I probably have a delay. I was just trying to tell you Jeannie White, add her name to the committee.
Oh,
That was
okay. Okay.
Right.
And I also feel the same way, but you guys correct me. I'm just sitting in for the chair. With the crab feed, I don't know if we're ready to discuss that. Because we have a fundraiser going on right now. So I don't want us to get confused and overwhelmed.
I'm not interested in crab. It's too expensive right now.
Any other comments? Because I can table this for another time. Any other comments? Okay, let's table the crab feed for the next meeting and get some more input as to where Margie was thinking with this. Okay? I see the comment, okay. Going on to number 5, public comment. Is it past the crab season? But I think we would be preparing for next year. I think this is what I hope so, because crab season is almost over. It's getting too warm. Okay, public comment. We have 2 minutes. Is there anyone here for public comments?
Jeanette had her hand up, and then Gian. And I know there is one person here for public comment.
Okay,
I was just going to say, Just gonna
Now
say on
we-
the crab feed,
Oh, okay, all right, go ahead.
and it was for next year. Not for now. You have to
For
get
next-
a venue for next year if we're going to, so.
Or we can look at a drive-through. I went to a drive-through, a couple of drive-through crab feasts. But again, you need the heavy lifters. You need the manpower to make it work. But it was very good crab too. But anyway, okay, so we'll table the crab feed. Now, moving on to public comment. All comments are limited to 2 minutes. Additional time may be granted. Comment period cannot exceed 30 minutes. And there are no questions during this period.
All
Okay?
right. The first hand I see would be Gian McDougall and then Matt Stein in that order. Gian, give me a second to set the timer up.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, ready.
Yes, my comment is very, very, very brief, and it has to do with kind of a recurring theme that I've always presented at meetings, and that is that the pandemic is not over, and ask people to really adhere to, even though the mask mandate has been rescinded, that people wear masks, that it appears that the numbers have gone down, but they have not. That's because people are doing home testing, and the home tests are not being reported to any public entity. So people really need to be very, very careful. There is an organization in Solano that does mobile testing. So if you have an organization or a group of people who want to be tested, we're more than happy to come to your location and come to your organization. Be cautious and love your neighbor. Be cautious and wear a mask and maintain and get the darn vaccine and boosters if you haven't done so. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Matthew.
Unmute.
Unmute Matthew. There you go.
Thank you so much. So I just wanted to remind everybody, and on behalf of the Jewish Democratic Club of Solano County, that today we remember the singular violence leveled against the Jewish community in the Holocaust and around the world. Today is Yom HaShoah, the Holocaust Remembrance Day. From Germany, the graveyard of Central and Eastern Europe, to the Balkans and the Middle East, this genocide was explicitly intended to wipe out Jewish life entirely. In a time of rising anti-Semitic hate crime, it's more important than ever to condemn bigotry whenever we see it.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? I don't see any other hands. All right, it's back in your hands, Madam Chair.
Okay, so public comment time is, the public comment period is over, okay? All right, moving on with the agenda. Announcements, we want to, Jeannie White, you want it to be added to announcements?
I did, and I want to say thank you for allowing me to come and speak at such a late notice. Thank you, Chairperson Vernile. I am excited to be able to tell you, excuse me, that the ACLU Solano chapter is partnering with Solano Community College to put on a forum for the 2 district attorney candidates, and that's going to be held on Tuesday, May 3rd from 3 to 5 p.m. And it will be held remotely. There was to be a forum for the Board of Supervisors candidates the day before. However, they have some scheduling issues. And so I think that the committee is meeting right now to assess whether or not they're going to reschedule or perhaps wait until after the runoff. They may not be able to schedule in time because there are 5 different candidates that they had hoped to have. And it's really hard to get 5 people, especially during the campaign season, to be available on the same night. So they were very excited about the fact that they were able to get both Sharon Henry and Krishna Abrams to come for the DA's forum. So that's really exciting. I'm going to try to put the link in the chat. I think I saved it. I'm going to try to do it. And if it doesn't come out, I will definitely provide it to the secretary to put it out to you, because there is a Zoom link for you all to participate and to be there. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I see several hands up. Tiffany?
Yes, so I'm looking in the chat. There were hands that flew up after public comment. And I know Joseph Hayden had his hand up. I wasn't sure if we wanted to put him for announcements. And then I saw Kevin McNamara and Danette's hand. So if this is after public comment, we've passed
These
that time.
announcements. Are these announcements?
Yeah, are these
Yes.
announcements? Okay. All
Okay,
right, go
all
ahead.
right.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Oh, okay. So I have been working with an organization that I found through the Stonewall Democrats called LGBTQ minus tobacco, and a couple other organizations actually here in the Bay Area. And I actually found them at a presentation that they gave. Oh, okay, we are putting the slideshow up. That is very specific to Solano County. I don't necessarily have to go through the slides right now because I know there's only a couple of minutes, but I encourage you to look at this that I know Jeanette sent out. And if each of your respective clubs are interested, a presentation with some of the details of what we're working on, including the TRLs, which are tobacco retail licenses. We can talk about it, some of the other legislation that's out there, which is, to work on reducing the amount of smoking that is occurring throughout Solano County, and especially that's accessible to our youth. So these slides are showing some of the places where underage people were working to find out how easy it was to obtain tobacco products. And we also have lots of data on how the tobacco company is targeting youth with flavored products, including flavored vapes that have a lot of nicotine in them, despite the fact that they're purported to be healthier. And there's much more science that has come out in recent years about how it's not water vapor, but indeed very toxic vapor that comes out. And anyway, I don't have to go into all the details now, but I do want to offer by invitation, I'll put my contact information in the chat. If you want to have us speak at your respective clubs, we'd love to get an invitation. Yeah, and that's it for that. There is one other announcement. I'm president of the Glen Cove Community Association here in Vallejo. Yes.
Time is up. Your time was up, sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll put it in the chat. It's okay.
Two
Okay.
minutes.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
It's all right.
Kevin?
Yes. Quickly, on May the 4th, our new congressional candidate, Mike Thompson, will be having a coffee meeting at the Monarch in Trilogy on May the 4th from 2:15 to 3:15. That's it.
Thank you. And then Jeanette, your hand was up as well.
Yes, I just wanted to draw attention to the two things that Margie had put in the announcements. That's to first of all thank the ad hoc COVID committee for their work, and they had decided that that was their time had come to an end. Not that COVID has come to an end, but the committee had. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone saw that we were thanking them for their service. And secondly, a big thing in June, we're having officers elections. So begin thinking in May how you would like to be the secretary for this committee. And I would be happy to meet with you and show you how you can fill that role. So consider that secretary office open. And I would like to see who would like to be able to fill that. So that's my announcement.
Okay, I have a question. So there's no nominating committee involved in our elections?
We haven't had nominating committees. No, it's just people say, and so because we vote at the June meeting, because the bylaws say after the first presidential primary, I don't want to just ask someone, in the June meeting, hey, will you be secretary? So we do need to be thinking about it, which is why I wanted to bring attention to it now.
All right. I see no other hands and no comments in the chat.
Okay, moving on with the agenda. Announcements are closed. Reports for the April meeting. Those that have not, if you submitted a written report, just tell us and we'll move on for the sake of time. I don't have an executive board report. Okay, so we move on to officers report. Southern Chair, Vice Chair, do you have a report?
No, my report was the fundraiser.
Okay, yeah, right, okay. Treasurer, he's not here tonight. Jeanette, Secretary, do you have a report?
Said no.
No, no. Information Resource Officer?
Just to note that there is a social post that you can share on the Facebook page of Solano Democrats. And it's also going to be on our Twitter and Instagram for the fundraiser. So please share as much as you can.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with parliamentarian is not here tonight. Moving on to ex officio reports. Thompson and Garamendi reps, are they here?
Nope.
The Senator Dodds rep, is she here?
Yes, I am. I've
Okay.
submitted a written report. Good evening.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Assembly Grayson, Aguilar, or Wilson, any reports from any of our Assembly people?
Assembly Member Grayson has no report for this month.
Thank you.
And we got a written report from Aguilar Curry.
Okay, thank you. Supervisors, Hannigan or Brown, any reports? Okay, local elected as school boards, council members, Benicia, Vacaville, Fairfield, Vallejo, Sassoon, Dixon?
No report.
Rio Vista. Okay, it's gonna be a fast meeting tonight, okay. Club reports, the Community Democratic Club, Jewish Democratic Club of Solano County, Northern Solano Democratic Club.
We submitted our report in writing. Read it,
Okay,
please.
thank you. Progressive Democrats of Benicia, Rio Vista Democratic
Oh,
Club.
hold on, for Progressive Dems, if
Okay.
Carrie, I don't know if Carrie is here or not. We had a meeting in earlier this month where we heard about what kind of personal action you can take on climate change. And we also are sponsoring a fundraiser for Sharon Henry this coming Saturday.
Okay, thank you. Rio Vista Democratic Club, Sankofa Democratic Club, Solano Democratic Workers Alliance, Stonewall.
Yes, Madam Chair, we submitted a report as well as an announcement that yesterday we voted to endorse Wanda Williams for Supervisor District 3, as well as Sharon Henry for District Attorney. And we are working to organize and help them get elected and represent us all as Democrats and allies.
Well, thank you. And last, United Democrats of Solano, Southern Solano.
We submitted a written report.
Written report. Okay, thank you. State Party. Paula, they have your name listed here. You have a report from the State Party? You're the only one present. Monica nor Lynette's here.
They just announced the e-board meeting for July, middle of July down in LA. And other than that, I don't really have much else to say about the e-board.
Okay. Yeah, and that meeting is coming up, is it June 21st in Los Angeles?
July 8th to 10th.
Okay, all right, July 8th through 10th,
But
okay.
it's not the convention, it's just the
No.
e-board.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, committee reports. No bylaw, the parliamentarian isn't here. Code of Conduct Committee. I didn't see Leilani. Is she here? We spoke on the fundraiser. Audit Committee, Bridget?
I'll give all of my committee reports in one to save time here because I'm on 3 different committees. We met in March for resolutions and headquarters, but several of the representatives for headquarters asked that we meet after the primary. So that meeting has been scheduled for June 11th. So that both Congressman Thompson and Congressman Garamendi can send representatives to give their input to that meeting. And I'll have Jeanette send that out. That'll be June 11th. And then the next resolutions committee meeting will be May 15th at 6 p.m. And we're holding that because the deadline for submitting resolutions for the next executive board is 30 days before the executive board. So this gives people several weeks to go over them and if they want to speak about them before the next meeting. Thank you. And that'll all go out to Jeanette.
Okay, I don't know where this fits, but I have a question. Have we decided if we're going to have a headquarters for this this election season?
The committee's just discussing it, I think is the idea.
Okay.
That's for the general, not for the primary.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Logistics Ad Hoc Committee? Carrie, but is anyone on the committee that can give a report? We've had a legislative.
I'm on the committee with Carrie and Don and John. So just real quick, we had talked about meeting in person in June, but I think we're going to have to take a pause on that, but we're going to meet to discuss it this next month and let everyone know. Just because of Omicron and its stepchild or whatever is coming up.
Okay, legislative ad hoc, is that a duplicate of what we've already heard?
It's a
A written report was submitted.
Okay, thank you. Morgan's not here for finance. Endorsement committee, Don, do you have a report?
We're done our work. I don't know why we're on the agenda.
Okay,
We're done.
all right, okay. All right, old business, Corey Penrose, the letter to county school board members.
Yes, ma'am. As we discussed in last month's meeting, there was a letter I wanted to have sent from the Solano Dems over to friendly school board members on the County Board of Education. The friendly school board members and the County Board of Education have voted in a way to support quality public education for the children of Vallejo. So as a result, the letter which I sent to the executive committee was approved. I can read it to you, or we can just go ahead and vote on it, since I kind of get the sense we'd like to finish things up in a timely fashion. Is there a preference, Madam Chair?
Has everyone had an opportunity to read the letter in our correspondence, or just the executive committee?
I believe the executive committee only.
Okay, does anyone need to hear what the, no objections, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, whatever you want me to do, Madam Chair, it's all good.
For the interest of time, does anyone need to know what the letters, just congratulating, we don't need to vote on it or anything, right?
Well,
It's just
I'd like
going
to
out.
get it adopted by this body so we can see
Then
the
read it.
Solano Dems. Yeah.
Then read it.
All right.
So they'll know
This
what they're
letter-
electing, so they'll know what they're voting on.
Oh, of course. Letter reads as follows. Dear trustees Dean, Dunn, and Lavelle, we, the Solano Democratic Central Committee, are writing today to share our absolute shock and outrage over the conduct of some of the attendees at your February meeting. We watched, as did the rest of the world, as right-wing insurrectionists stormed the capital of our great nation on January 6th in a horrific attempt to overcome the results of a legitimate election. Never in our wildest dreams did we imagine that such insanity would ever come to our country, yet now it has. To that end, please know that we are honored to stand with you during such extraordinary times. And like you, the education of our children, regardless of their zip code, is near and dear to our hearts. We know that facing such hate can be daunting and can lead you to question the necessity of working to hold a seat. We therefore would urge you to keep the faith, and please, when you run for re-election this fall, consider seeking our endorsement, and we thank you for your recent vote in favor of supporting public schools in the city of Vallejo. Obviously, any Democrat seeking a seat on the County Board of Education that would like our endorsement is welcome and encouraged to interview with the Central Committee. And we know how difficult running a campaign can be during these difficult times. But please, never doubt that you can accomplish amazing things from the office you hold. And remember, we share the same deep commitment to a high-quality education for every child in our community. As Edmund Burke said, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. And as was the case then, if good people are driven away from a higher calling by the actions of those who exist only to destroy, the insurrectionists on January 6th have already won. Please don't let that happen. Signed, Solano Democratic Central Committee. And this was run through e-boards, so, it was given the blessing by that body.
Motion to support?
I have a question. I mean, if that's okay, my hand's up. Yeah, thank you. What is the backstory, Corey? Because I hear the letter. The letter sounds good. I just don't know the backstory behind it. I don't know why the letter was written.
It's encouragement. There's 3 of the key votes to help protect public education on that board are up this fall. And as the letter said, they're facing a lot of incredibly hostile resistance. The letter is meant to help encourage them to stay with it and to not give up. I mean, this is an issue which is going on around the state of California. In the northern part of the state, there's groups of people who, I kid you not, are calling themselves red shirts and showing up and screaming profanities at school board members in rural parts of the state because they're trying to get people who actually believe in our values to just say to heck with it and leave. And trying to support the people who we have up there, people who share our values and our beliefs, is at the core, I believe, of everything we do. I hope that answers your question.
It helps. Thank you.
Tom, you're recognized.
Yeah, just to add to what Corey said, this was also written, or the impetus of this was after the craziness that happened where the Board of Education wanted to send a letter to the governor and to the heads of the Senate or the Assembly and everything to no longer vote for mask mandates and to no longer vote for any kind of COVID restrictions. So that's where this all started from, and it was led by one particular member of that committee. And I think you know who she is, Bonnie.
Okay. And then also, just as a note, I see hands raised. The fact that there were several people that are in this meeting were attacked at said meeting, pushed, shoved, a child, a young person spit on and accosted. So absolutely unacceptable. Bridget, then Ian.
Hey, I'm not sure if discussion is done. I just wanted to reiterate the motion to support.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to second Bridgette's motion.
It's been moved in second. Can we get a poll?
Ned, you have a question? You're muted.
I just wanted to make one other comment before we adjourn the meeting, and that is on the upcoming events, it says, dues are past due April 30th. So I just wanted to clarify for people, you pay dues for a club, you pay dues for the state, and then you also have dues for the Central Committee. And those dues are $35 for all members, whether you are a member for an elected, whether you are an alternate, or whether you are for the club. And the dues link has been sent several times. The one we had last year was dues 2021. There's one that says 2022. So if you're paying your dues, look carefully at that. At the next meeting, if your dues are not paid, you won't be able to cast a vote because you have to be a dues paying member. And sometimes people pay $70 for themselves and their alternate, but that doesn't always happen. So alternates need to check with whoever you're representing. did you pay dues? Do I pay dues? How do we do that? And the same thing for clubs. The club rep needs to see who's paying and make sure that that happens. So I just wanted to make that announcement so that you could put a V behind your name, in front of your name next time. So that was my announcement.
Thank you. Any other comments before we adjourn?
I will end the poll. Poll passes.
Okay. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
And at the bottom of our agenda, we have upcoming events. Our next meeting will be May 3rd for Executive Board, and the monthly meeting will be May 25th for general meeting. Primary election, June 7th. Don't forget the candidates we endorse. They need our help. They need our help. Ballots drop, I think, with May 9th or something around, and I see a couple of hands still up. Okay. And a hello, goodbye party for Congressman Garamendi and Thompson on June 26th from 2 to 4. Where? I don't know. But there's a party for 'em.
Jeannie?
Yes, I had put something in the chat earlier, and I should have said something when I had my opportunity with the announcement, so I got nervous. We are doing a postcard writing event for Wanda Williams. You can either do it remotely, or we're having it at my house on May 5th. I am going to put out a blast to all of our club members. The link to my email is in the chat. We will send you the message. We will send you the addresses. All you have to do is supply your postcards and your own pen and the willingness to put it your pen to paper and send messages of support for Wanda to get her successfully elected. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bridget?
Yes, and in the same spirit, actually, I was going to do a shout out to all of our Central Committee members to come out and walk for Wanda. You know, she's walking every weekend. There are dates you can pick from, but it would be great if Central Committee members would all decide to just come out this Saturday and next Saturday, and let's all walk together. So thank you very much.
Kelly?
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late to the meeting. I just want to welcome my alternate, Dave McCallum, and thanks for being my alternate, Dave. But also, I'm sorry I missed the local elected officials portion of the meeting. I had some conflicts with my kids' extracurricular activities tonight. But I just want to let everybody know that the Vacaville Unified School District Board of Trustees, you know, we've had a lot of issues with the right-wing anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, and coming to our meetings with Let's Go Brandon shirts and American flags and threatening me and protesting like they did at the SCOE meeting. And so if any of y'all are interested in kind of giving some support to the Vacaville School Board, I know Jeannie and Alice and the Northern Dems have been really great about coming to our meetings, but it's just been a real uphill battle for us Board of Trustees in Vacaville. So I could use some Dem support. And Wanda, I'm rooting for you, and I'll come walk some precincts.
Thank you.
Okay. Is anything else? Will we entertain a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
It's been moved in second to adjourn the meeting, and the poll is up.
Who seconded that?
I did.
I did. Or either way is fine.
Someone did.
Okay. All right. See you guys next month, huh? Be safe.
Yes, good night, everyone.
All right,
Good
good night. But I did
Good
put
night.
a comment in the chat that we really need to talk about at some
I
point.
saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
Democratic electeds who are endorsing non-democratic folks. And you can go on Chuck Timm's website and look at his endorsements, and then his picture with Garamendi, which I don't understand. So his main picture is him with Garamendi. And I don't know if Garamendi's aware, but he's not listed as an endorser, but Dodd is. So, you know, again, this is stuff we need to really keep our eye
Teeth
on.
in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Like I said, be safe, members.
Bye.
Great meeting. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Right.
Night.